राधा शिवश्री गौर जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद राधा शिवश्री गौर भक्त बिंद
जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवसदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण।
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear devotees. So today is Wednesday. It is 15th of January, and it is Magha Masa or Madhava Masa, Krishna Paksham, and Vidya Tithi. So in the calendar, so it is the month of Magha, just the beginning of the month. So this is also once again the period in India. So it is 3 days of the festival, Sankranti festivals. Though it is not mentioned in the calendar. So today it is also linked to that the Kanuma festival, or which is the cattle festival. So this is linked to Krishna when he was worshipping Govardhana. I mean, well, all the Vrindavan people are worshipping Govardhana. So that is one. So just I will read a few lines about it. So this is mainly taking place in the South India part. So the Makara Sankranti, farmers hold this Kanma festival. It happens after the Makara Sankranti. They hold this festival in high esteem, celebrating with significant fervor and enthusiasm. And it commemorates the legendary event when the Lord Krishna protected the inhabitants of Gokulam from a severe flood. Legends states that on this day, Lord Krishna persuaded the villagers to worship Govardhana hill, which induced the rainfall they desperately needed. So this action, however, provoked Lord Indra and deity of rain, leading him to inundate the village with a violent storm as retribution. In response, Krishna safeguarded the villagers and their livestock by lifting the massive Govardhana hill with a single finger, providing them shelter. Upon recognizing this his error, Indra seized the downpour. And then later on, Krishna initiated the again Govardhana Puja. The Kanma festival has since been celebrated to honor this divine intervention. On this day, devoted to cattle reverence, the farmers start their day early, bathing and adorning their cattle with ornaments and vividly painting their horns. Subsequently, the decorated cattle are taken to nearby temples for ritualistic worship. Another notable aspect of Karma festival includes bullfights and wagers on the animals. So this is how cows are celebrated and they are respected and they are taken to the temples and worship them. And also the bulls are engaged in the bullfights. And also there is kind of in southern India Jallikattu kind of thing. So group of the bulls were released without any thread tied to their noses, and the people who are the brave warriors fighters, they can catch these bulls, and whatever the gift is tied up to the horns of the bulls, they can catch those gifts. Such kind of it is again enthusiasm. It happens with enthusiastically in southern India. So that is Kanma festival. Okay, apart from that, there are no other events. So we shall quickly move into our daily Srimad Bhagavatam. ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। Hare Krishna. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, Sukadeva Goswami, he is describing the universal creation. So in the beginning, when the Lord he is lying on the Yoga Talpa, at that time desiring to create so many things, he has created the first three elements. These are the Adidhaivam, Adhyadhyatmam, Adibhutam by his energy. So likewise, he was mentioning Eko nanatvam anvichan yogatalpa samuttitaha. So he was lying on the yogatalpa. Vijam hiranmayam devo maya vyasvijatridham. And so vyasvijatridha. So there are three characteristics of the these are the Adhyatmam, Adidhaivam, Adibhautikam. They were all created based on the Swabhava Jiva Evacha, Drabyam Karma Chakalasha, Swabhava Jiva Evacha. So after that he also mentioned Adidhaivam, Atadhyatmam, Adibhotam, Iti Prabhuhu, Etaikam Purusham Viryam, Tridabhijyata Tashrunu. Oh, Parikshit. So I'm going to explain those further. Just listen. Likewise, he mentioned. So now he's saying how it happens. So he says that the sky, which is situated within the body of that Purusha, and from that sky there is the energy and also the life, everything have emanated from that sky, which is situated in the body of the Lord. And then and as soon as the Lord moves, and all these living entities, all of their activities will be moved. As soon as the Lord does not move, they will all be seized. In such a way, Sukadeva Goswami is saying to Parikshit Maharaj. Okay, so we are in the Srimad Bhagavatam, second canto, chapter 10, verse number 15 and 16. अन्तः शरीर आकाशात् पुरुषस्य विचेष्टतः वोजः सहो बलं जज्ञे ततः प्राणो महानसुः Antah Sharira Akashat. So within the body of that Purusha, Antah Sharire Akashat, and which is from the sky, which is situated in the Mahavishnu's body. Antah Sharira Akashat Purushasya Vichestataha. So of Mahavishnu Vichestataha, while so trying or willing, when he was trying to move or something like that, activities are happening. Vichestataha Vojaha Saho Balam Jajne. Vojaha is the energy of the senses. Sahaha is the mental force. Balam is the bodily strength. Jajne, they got generated from the sky, which is situated in the Mahavishnu's body. Tataha Prano Mahanasuhu. And after that, thereafter, Pranaha, the living force, and Mahan Asuhu. Mahan Asuhu. Asuhi is the life, or Mahan Asuhu is the fountainhead of everyone's life. They were all generated. Antah Sharira Akashat Purushasya Vichestataha Vojah Saho Balam Jajne Tataha Prano Mahanasuhu. So translation for this was from the sky situated within the transcendental body of manifesting Mahavishnu, sense energy, mental force, and bodily strength are all generated, as well as the sum total of the fountainhead of the total living force. They were all generated. And then further, Sukadeva Goswami says, Anuprananti yam pranaha pranantam sarvajantushu apanantam apananti naradevam ivanugaha. Anuprananti yam pranaha. Anuprananti. So the follow the living symptoms. Anuprananti yam pranaha, and whom senses. Yam whom, and pranaha the senses. Pranantam sarvajantushu. Pranantam sarvajantushu. Pranantam is endeavoring. Sarvajantashu in all living entities. Apanantam, apananti, and stop endeavoring, and apananti, all others stop. Naradevam ivanugaha. Just Naradevam, just like a king, and his followers. And Iva Anugaha and his followers. So just it is explaining that whenever the Lord moves, all the living entities move. Whenever the Lord stops, everyone stops. Just like a king when he was moving, and then all his entourage follow behind him. Likewise, when he stops, all his entourage will be stopped. Likewise, it is Anupranantyam pranaha pranantam sarvajantushu apanantam apananti naradevam ivanugaham. So translation for this verse. As the followers of a king follow their lord, similarly, when the total energy is in motion, all other living entities move. And when the total energy stops endeavoring, all other living entities stop sensual activities. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Can I request Usha Mataji to read the purport, please?
The individual living entities are completely dependent on the total energy of the Supreme Purusha. No one has independent existence, just as no electric lamp has independent effulgence. Each and every electrical instrument depends fully on the total powerhouse. The total powerhouse depends on the reservoir of water for energetic electricity. Water depends on the clouds. The clouds depend on the sun. The sun depends on the creation, and the creation depends on the movement of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause of all causes. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. So here Prabhupada is mentioning that whenever all the living entities, they are completely depending on the total energy of the Supreme Purusha. So this is whenever Prabhupada was explaining, for example, we are wearing a coat, a dress, nice dress. And when we are moving, then dress is also moving us. It is not that just simply is dressing, oh, coat is very nicely going. It is not that we recognize, but actually the person is wearing that dress. Person is wearing that coat because person is there. Because the inside the body, the Purusha is there. Because that Purusha is moving, the body is moving like that. But if we say that the car is moving, something like that, but actually there is a person inside it who is driving the car. So that needs to be acknowledged here. So because here the total energy that is the of the Supreme Purusha is moving. That's why all this universe is moving. All the living entities are able to carry out their activities. This is Vojaha Saho Balam Jajni Tataha Prano Mahanasuhu. Everything, all the living entities, along with the that energy, sensual energies, and bodily strength, everything. And also it is giving the analogy that whenever king is going, so all his entourage follows. As soon as he stops, and everything gets stopped. So as the followers of the king follow their lord, similarly, and also here, each and every electrical instrument is completely it is depends on the electricity. All electrical instruments dependent on the electricity. Electricity dependent on the powerhouse. Powerhouse depends on reservoir of water for everything. Again, it is leading to clouds, and then to the sun, and then to the creation, and then creation depends on the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So, thus the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause of all causes. Okay, so if we see all festivals we celebrate in each and every day, they're all connected to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. For example, this Kumbh Mela, and it is connected to the holy rivers, Ganga and Yamuna. They're all coming from the lotus feet of the Lord. And again, the glories of the lotus feet is only for us to worship. Sarvakama Dukangri Padmam. This is again, all the people, they go and worship the lotus feet of the Lord, from where this Ganges river emanates from. If without knowing that connection to the Lord, if everyone going and taking a dip, it will help him. It will help him, but one has to know the complete knowledge where this Ganga is coming from and how it has got that strength to liberate one person from all kinds of sinful activities. When there is inquisitiveness, then his knowledge will be perfect. Then he will come to Krishna consciousness. There are so many million people are taking bath. Out of many of those people, very few people will be enlightened, coming to Krishna consciousness. Okay, so that is knowing that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the cause of all causes. Okay, it's a simple purport only. Okay, so likewise, Sukadeva Goswami is mentioning everything is coming from the Krishna. Antah Sarira Akashat Purushasya Vicheshtataha Sahavojo Vojaha Saho Balam Jajne Tataha Prano Mahanasuhu Anuprananti Yam Pranaha Pranantam Sarvajentushu Apanantam Apananti Naradevam Ivanugaha. Just giving a analogy to like a king and his entourage. Likewise, the Supreme Lord and all the living entities, dependent living entities. Okay, so that is from Srimad Bhagavatam. Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai. Okay, so we shall move to the Srila Prabhupada's daily letter. So letter to Jai Pataka, June 21, 1970. It's a small letter. I shall read it and we go to another letter. My dear Jai Pataka, please accept my blessings. I sent you one letter dated 14th June 1970, the copy of which is enclosed herewith. So I do not know if you have received this letter. I am very anxious to hear from you how you are proceeding towards India, whether you have obtained a visa, etc. Please inform me by return mail of your present position and plans. Hope this will meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. So previously also we have seen one of the Prabhupada's letter to Jayapataka, just to make plans to India. So now again Prabhupada wanted to know the current position, present position. Okay, so that is one thing. And we shall move to the another letter. Letter to Pradyumna, June 21st, 1970, Los Angeles. Can I request Asha Mataji to read this letter, please?
My dear Pratim, please accept my blessings and offer the same to your good wife, Arundhati, and your firstborn son, whom you may give the name Aniruddha. This is very good news. Now you must take the responsible post of both husband and father to guide both these good souls, your wife and son, to the perfection of human life in Krishna consciousness. You and your wife are both intelligent and advanced in devotional service. So work conjointly to raise your son in the best atmosphere of ideal family blessed by Krishna in Krishna consciousness. I am in due receipt of your letter dated 14th of June 1970 and have read it carefully. So your efforts in the matter of your Sanskrit editing are effectively improving our books more and more with scholarly standards. All your work and programs are approved by me as you have listed them. So please continue to develop your capabilities by careful work as you are doing. Your correction of the discrepancies found in the Gita, please press editions of Srimad Bhagavatam are alright. On page 39, verse 24, the word Vayashyate is correct. The style of Srimad Bhagavatam, just as I had printed earlier in the first canto edition, is very nice. Go on with this style for all our Bhagavatam editions. Recording the missing verse 13 from manuscript, second chapter, second canto, I give you the following. Brother, if you could move a second canto, second chapter, 13 verse, synonym. Ik, ik, ikelia. One to one after another. Angani, limbs, divya, by attention. Anubhavayati, meditate upon. Payadi, legs, etc. Yavat, until. Desitan, smiling. Gabadara, the personality of Godhead. Jinatitan, controlling of the mind gradually. Sthanam, place. Apaya, leaving. Dharaya, meditate upon. Param, higher and higher. Sudhyadi, purify. Dhir, intelligent. Yada, as and as. Translation. The process of meditation should be beginning from the lotus feet of the Lord up to the smiling face. The meditation should be placed upon the lotus feet, then to the calves, then to the thighs, in this way up and up, one after another. As and as the mind becomes fixed up, up on the different parts of the limbs, and thus the intelligence becomes purified, purport. The process of meditation recommended in the Srimad Bhagavatam is not to fix up one's attention or something, and a little bit further attention or something impersonal or void. The meditation should be concentrated on the personality of Godhead. Either take him as Virada Rupa or Jayantic universal form, or take him as his Satchidananda Vigraha as described in the scriptures. There are authorized descriptions of Vishnu forms, and there are authorized presentations of deities in the temple. So one can practice meditating upon the deity, concentrating his mind on the lotus feet of the Lord gradually rising up and up the smiling face. According to Bhagavad school, the Lord's rasa dancing is the smiling face of the Lord. As it is recommended here in the verse that one should gradually rise beginning from the lotus feet up to the smiling face. So we shall not at once jump to understand the lotus pastime in rasa dance. Better we should practice to concentrate our attention by offering flowers and fleshy on the lotus feet of the Lord. In this way, as we become purified by the Achana process, gradually we dress him, bathe him. And all these transcendental activities help us in purifying our existence. So when we are on the higher standard of purification, at that time, if we see the smiling face of the Lord or relish the rasa dance pastimes of the Lord. Probably a little more. Then we can release his activities. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, therefore, rasa dance pastime is delineated in the 10th canto. The more we concentrate on the transcendental form of the Lord, either on the lotus feet or on the calf or on the thighs or on the chest, the more we become purified. In this verse, it is clearly stated, as soon as the intelligence becomes purified, which means as soon as we become detached from sense gratification. Our intelligence at the present moment in the conditioned state of life is impure on account of being engaged in sense gratification. So the results of all meditation on the transcendental form of the Lord shall be manifested by our detachment form of sense gratification. Therefore, the ultimate purpose of meditation is purification of our intelligence. Those who are too much engrossed in sense gratification cannot be allowed in the matter of archana to touch the transcendental form of Radha, Krishna, or Vishnu deities. For them, it is better to meditate upon the gigantic Radha Rupa form of the Lord as it is recommended in the next verse. The impersonalistic and the voidist are therefore recommended to meditate upon the universal form of the Lord, whereas the devotees are recommended to meditate on the deity worship in the temple. So, because the impersonalists and voidists are not uh, sufficiently purified in their spiritual activities, Archana is not meant for them. So, if there are any other missing parts, please let me know immediately so that the work can go on unhindered. And hope this meet you in good health. Your ever well wisher, A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami. Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai. Thank you, Mataji. Any takeaway points, Mataji, from this letter?
Try quite long letter. I forgot. Srila Prabhupada wrote a letter to Pratyumna, and he is offering his blessing to to Prabhu and his wife Arundhati and his firstborn son, and his name was Aniruddha. So Srila Prabhupada is so happy to hear that good news. So he advised the Prabhu to take responsibilities as a husband and a father. So he can take them in Krishna he can take them in the Krishna consciousness path. So he is mentioning there that that's his responsibility to take care of them to work together in Krishna consciousness. And Srila Prabhupada is happy to see his effort to his editing on Sanskrit, and he said is improving in a very good standard, like a scholarly standards. All of them are approved by him, except some. Only one on page 39, verse 24. Srila Prabhupada says about noises is correct. So he wanted him to go through the Srimad Bhagavatam first edition. He said they are very nice. So he has to follow that style from the Srimad Bhagavatam edition. And some missing verse is giving the proper correction with word by word by word, all the synonyms and translation and the purport. So Prabhupada is explaining his correction in here. So and also mainly he explained about Krishna's Rasa Leela dance, which is the smiling face of the Lord. So we shouldn't like straight away look at Krishna's smiling face, which is equivalent to reading Srimad Bhagavatam Canto 10. So we have to go through from his lotus feet to the smiling face by slowly. And so that's it means that we are reading from Canto 1 to Canto 10. We shouldn't quickly jump to Canto 10. So how we have to practice uh, uh, to look at Krishna by offering tulsi and flowers to his lotus feet. Then then we become little purified. Then we have to little we can process our service by dressing him, bathe him, and all other transcendental activities. So it will help them to purify their existence. So for the higher standard of purification. So we should, again, he's mentioning that we shouldn't like, sorry. So we go slowly on the service of looking at him. So we get slowly get purified. He's also mentioning about two types of people. One is devotees, the other one is sorry, Prabhu, I couldn't impersonalist and voidist. I didn't quite understand that, Prabhu. If you could please kindly explain. Okay. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much, Mataji. Very nice. Okay, so in this letter, Prabhupada is describing one is the corrections from the Bhagavatam from the Gita press. So that is all right. And according to our Prabhupada has printed it from the first canto. So just to go on with the same style for all our Bhagavatam editions. Another thing, the Prabhupada is giving the missing words for the synonyms and translation and purport. So this one describes that Ekaika Shangani Dhyana Bhave Padadi Yavadisitam Gadavrutaha Jitam Jitam Sthanam Apohya Dharayet Param Param Sujjitvihi Yatha Yatha. As soon as we meditate, Ekaika Shangani Dhyana Bhave, one after another, all the limbs of the body to be meditated upon. Padadi Yavadisitam Gadavrutaha, starting from the lotus feet of the Lord. Padadi Yavadisitam Gadavrutaha, the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Jitam Jitam Sthanam Upohya Dharayet. Just as soon as each and every limb we meditate upon, initially lotus feet for a couple of long period, then later on legs, later on the thighs. It is Jitam Jitam Sthanam Upohya Dharayet. Param Param Sujjitihi Yatha Yatha. When we gradually go up, our intelligence will be purified. So for that one, Prabhupada is describing here. Intelligence becomes purified, and then finally we come to the Krishna's face. Then we relish more as we take the reading of Bhagavatam and hearing of Krishna's pastimes of the 10th canto. And then if one is not yet purified, then he is to be engaged in meditate upon the universal form of the Lord, or Virata Rupa. So that is, but until one is purified, he is not allowed to engage in the archana, in the deity worship. So Prabhupada is mentioning here. You see here, people who are too much engrossed in the sense gratification cannot be allowed in the matter of archana to touch the transcendental form of Radha Krishna or Vishnu deities. So, but here, whenever Kapil Bhagavan explains, Madvishna Darshana Puja Shruti Abhivandanaihi Bhutesh Madbhavaya Satven Asangamenacha. So one has to touch my deity, see my deity and all this and engage himself. But here, that is when, at what time? This is again here, once he is purified. Once he understands that this Virata form or universal form is only for the impersonalist or the materialistic people or people who are engaged in the sense gratification. Once they are purified, then they come and start engaging in the deity worship, Archana. So that way Prabhupada is describing here. So once his intelligence is purified, then he will engage in the devotional service to Lotus feet of Krishna. Okay, so that is from this letter you might take away. Actually, this is a Srimad Bhagavatam verse. It is lots of things to be discussed, but from the letter point of view, so this is what we needed. Okay, thank you so much, Mataji. So Prabhupada is asking anything. So it is actually missing verse from the Bhagavatam, so that for the translation purpose. Thank you so much, Asha Mataji. My dear devotees, anyone would like to add anything else into this letter?
Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Just, can you just explain like how it is like self gratification when you are in how does
So the sense gratification, still I have got attachments with the family things, children. I wanted to do the job. I wanted to work. I wanted to earn money. Though it is not needed. I wanted to engage myself by going to the office, something like that. Though if it is an optional thing. Of course, as long as there is a need, I have to pay the bills. Without that, it is difficult to survive. Then we can do it. But whenever it is optional, then it is not required. That is called, I wanted to go to the office means that is a kind of a sense gratification only whenever it is optional. And but when we have got purified, that at that point of time, still one has to worship Virata Rupa form. I wanted to go to the holidays and picnics. So many of those things. It is generally needed. Otherwise, it is difficult to go to the offices and work. Some for the households, some sense gratification is allowed. Yemena, nemena, cha, dharmena. So by following the dharma, it is allowed for some time. Otherwise, he cannot go and work and then he can earn the livelihood. That is also allowed, but at the same time, engage in the devotional service. And then just reading Bhagavatam until he is completely purified. Then here, as per Prabhupada is mentioning that uh, once he comes out from the sense gratification, then he can start engaging himself in the Archana to the transcendent form of the Radha and Krishna or Vishnu deities.
thank you.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Any other comments? Okay, there are no further comments. Then, from the announcements point of view, so today evening we have got Kirtan evening. So just asking dear devotees, would you like to stretch a little bit earlier for the Kirtan instead of 8:30, coming back to 8 o'clock, so that you'll have enough time as well? So just checking in case. Any comments?
Yes, Prabhu, it's fine, like 8 o'clock for me.
So 8 o'clock is fine, or 8:30 is good enough?
I'm okay, Prabhu. If anybody attends, Prabhu, I'm fine.
Thank you, Mataji. Okay, so that is our upcoming event. So today at 8:30 p.m. for today. We'll see that option again. Keep it open if devotees wanted to do it a bit early as well. Okay, and dear devotees, if you have got any other updates or you wanted to share anything on Krishna consciousness, kindly share. Hare Krishna. Okay, if there are no updates, then we shall conclude and continue with Hadda Japa. वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव की जय। श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
हरे कृष्ण रामलला प्रभु जी। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर